All right, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to a impromptu episode of the Boiler Express podcast. This is the normal time that we meet on a weekly basis, but we didn't think we were going to meet tonight because there was a game. But how can you not get on here and talk about Purdue basketball after that game tonight? Absolutely stellar performance by the boys. A little bit of a shaky first half. Honestly, it was a solid game. We're on the road in a Big Ten environment, playing the number two team in the conference right behind us. But the boys came back in the second half and just absolutely played out of their mind. Braden Smith had some
What?
absolutely Carson
What?
Edwards
What?
esque ice in his veins moments about him, and a lot of the guys did, honestly. So super excited to get to meet with everybody tonight, hear everybody's opinions on the game, and if there's any Illinois fans out there, please
Suck,
bring
Shut
in
up.
your salt, bring in your booze.
Get out of here.
We're more than happy to talk about it. But yeah, I mean, we've all got to chat a little bit since the game's gone off the air, but I mean, I can't even. I've been trying to think of like who I would say is like an MVP. And obviously, there's some players like Brayden had some killer moments, but like Zach put up what 28 points tonight.
28 and
Um,
8.
yeah, so just absolutely insane game all around. Really great second half from the guys all together. So,
Yeah,
but
definitely that second half, like we were talking a little bit before we went live, it was impressive to see how different the team was. They seemed not that they weren't engaged in the first half, but it seemed like it was like half a step behind each time. And then the in the second half it was boom, just going crazy and it was just good. And the confidence seemed a lot more there than it was in the first half.
Yeah, I felt like the first two possessions of the second half really dictated like the rest of the
Mhm.
half. We looked really poised on defense. The rotations were good. They X'd out really well. They took away the closest pass, and then were able to get a contested three from Terrence Shannon Jr. I can't talk tonight. I'm just so amped up.
I know.
And then we just came down. We were super poised. Edie drew the double team, kicked it out for an open three. I just felt like we were a lot more poised in the second half. But
I will say this. I think my MVP is Fletcher Lawyer.
yeah, I mean,
I think
he,
what he's like his defense was really good, and then him being focused up on the offensive side of the ball. It was good to see.
I got a comment here. Purdue just owns places named Assembly Hall. It's actually not Assembly Hall anymore. It's State Farm Center, but that's
Yeah.
close.
Sold that.
Comment here. Congratulations on the dub. Well deserved. Happy for you guys. Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank
sir.
you.
Thank you, Eric. Love you, Eric.
yeah,
But
congrats on 5 years, Eric. By the way.
Yeah,
I was on. They had me on that show for some reason. I don't know.
Yeah, why would they have you on?
I don't know.
I have a feeling you just like found the link somewhere and just pushed your way into that.
They had a call-in show.
Surprise!
They had a call-in show, and I called in, and it was. We need to do that. I need to ask Eric how they did that because it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, happy anniversary to the OHIO guys. Yeah, I mean, you guys aren't. Well, you guys beat us at basketball, so I guess I can't say much. But where the hell is the Orange Crush guys? Where are they? I don't hear them. all of
Yeah,
a sudden.
yeah.
They're
You know,
silent.
it is
Sonny.
very quiet. from
You
the
talk
Orange
about.
Crush guys.
I'm going to go on a rant here, and how much
Do it.
we should appreciate the paint crew, because when you have a clown show nonsense bullshit like the Orange Crush pulled tonight. Oh,
Good
just
use of the word clown show. Love it.
they're absolute clowns, every single one of them. The weakest chance, like you can imagine, like middle school nonsense. Like my fifth grade, 5-year-old niece could come up with better insults than what they came up with tonight.
Well,
So
and
forget
like
them.
what blew my mind was watching the game. I feel like the loudest I mean, and this is a huge game for them. And it
Massive.
was it was an important game for us too. It helped us, be outright, first place in the conference and everything. But like it was a really huge game for them. But I felt like the crowd never like the loudest they got was when, Zach would miss his first free throw. And then they were, on their way to possibly getting some chicken nuggets. But
Which they
you
didn't
know,
get.
like the times that they went on runs and like tried to get amped up, like I don't know, at least watching it from TV, like it just didn't feel that crazy. Like it got loud,
It
but it
was
was
lame.
like where Mackey I feel like starts. I'm not gonna lie.
When the best thing you can come up with is FU, enter opposing player's name here, and DUI. That's the best you can come
Yeah.
up with. Like, get out of here.
Clown shoe stuff.
there was
Low hanging fruit, you absolute bums.
a great tweet going around. It was like, "Oh, they're chanting DUI at Gillis. Let me see if I can find anything the Illinois players have done."
Yeah, right. I mean, come on. Have a little
Uh,
insight.
you know
I
what's funny?
chuckled. I chuckled.
what's funny is I've talked to a friend of mine that's an Illinois fan, and they were like, "Well, like, I mean, and not to get into like legalistics or anything, but like they were like, well, like, I mean, they couldn't prove it. Like, he probably did it, but like, you can't prove it. So like, I was just like, Jesus
That's
Christ.
not what
Y'all, I just
That's-
tuned into the Illini cast for like 2 seconds, and guess what they're complaining about?
Oh,
fouls.
They got the
Refs.
short end of the stick on the foul calls.
Yep.
Oh, of course. So and this is, and I'll just go ahead and say, I mean, so
What?
game
wait a
number
second.
one, the rallying cry from the Illinois faithful was Terrence Shannon Jr. didn't play. Like, this game shouldn't even count. Well, now he played. In my opinion, he was kind of a non-factor in the game. Marcus Damask is a much larger offensive threat, in my opinion, at least in the games I've watched and the games that I've seen him play against us. And we were talking, like, what's going to be the rallying cry now? Because that's been the, Purdue, Illinois would have won by 15 if Terrence Shannon Jr. would have played in the first game. And so it has to be officiating, right? But like, let's talk about the fact that Fletcher Lawyer was stationary with his hands straight up, and Quincy Guerrier jumped into him, and there was a foul on Fletcher
That
Lawyer.
was so bad.
So, like, I'm sure that's not being discussed right now by the Illinois fan base.
Or
They're
even
not,
that,
No, it's
like,
because their basketball IQ is negative.
But wait a second. Purdue got called for committing 17 fouls, and Illinois only committed 15. So they won, right? Like, they won the foul call battle. So you can't complain, right? Like,
Look how
and yeah,
sad
that first
they are.
half,
Look how
that
sad
first
they
half
are,
was
guys.
so telling. Edie only played 17 minutes. I say only. He sat 3 minutes.
I'm gonna go
But he-
start talking some nonsense over there.
Edie scored 18 points in 17 minutes in the first half. Terrence Shannon had 4 points in 12 minutes. It's not like he only played 3 or 4 minutes like they try to make it seem at halftime. Like,
Yeah.
Shannon Jr. got in foul trouble. Like, no, he still played 12 minutes, only scored 4 points. I'm more and more thinking that Damask is the best player on their team.
Yeah, I
more and more
agree.
in that
Damask seems to be the guy who can just get his own bucket.
How do you
And
say his last name?
I've heard
Damask?
Damask. I've heard Domask. I don't know. I just say Damask, but
I have another one, but I won't say it.
and that brings me to the main point I want to make about this game is that when you look at the stat sheet, there's a player from Purdue only logged 13 minutes tonight. You're going to see a whole lot of zeros next to his name, but he made a huge impact, and that was Cam Heide.
Yes, sir.
Russ already knows it was Cam Heide. On those empty side ball screens for Damask, he held his own. Like, he made life extremely difficult for Damask and caused him to pass out of it. Guys were getting in rotation, contesting shots. Like, Cam Heide made a huge difference. He, right when Illinois was looking like they were going to go on a run, he intercepted that pass in transition. To cap that, it was the timeliness of everything he did. Another big thing that sticks out: only 2 fast break points for Illinois in the game.
That's crazy,
did
especially
not
because
finish,
all the struggles we've had with transition defense.
Everyone who's listening on our side, go to the Illini Cast live stream
Already been done.
and comment your choo-choo trains, please, because
Oh,
I
yeah.
did it. And just load them up with some choo-choos. All right, they need it. They're a little
I don't think
down.
we're listening to, so they're probably responding to us. But
It's on mute. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, so Camden
Sorry.
Heide, man, he's averaging 12 minutes a game on the season, but over the last 4, he's averaging 17 minutes a game. I think he could be huge come tournament time. He is that guy that we can insert to make an even bigger difference in these games where we play somebody that's more athletic and they've got stretch fives and they've got 5 3-point shooters. Like, Heide is elite. And the one thing we did differently, I know you guys probably don't watch much basketball outside of Purdue games, but when Illinois played Wisconsin, Tyler Wall played pretty good defense as well. Not, I don't think as good as Camden Heide, obviously, tonight, but he played really good defense. The only problem was they never helped him, right? Like, one thing Heide did good was he pushed almost the way he had to play Zach Edey. He would push Damask way out towards the elbow or even out towards the 3-point line and not let him get deep, not let him get started in deep. And if he did get deep, Edey or TKR or Gillis even would come over and help. And as soon as he made that spin move, it was like, oh, shit, somebody else is actually here playing defense on me. It's not one-on-one. So I think that was the 2 big things we did on defense tonight that changed a little bit differently than what, like, Wisconsin did, where Illinois was able to get that game done.
I'm going to say that, and this is going to upset Illinois fans, Coleman Hawkins is the most overrated player in the Big Ten.
Oh my
Yeah,
god!
I would say
hear them
Coleman
booing
Hawkins is definitely overrated defensively, and I think we saw that tonight. And I
Yeah.
think when you look at his defensive numbers, none of them are impressive outside of steals. Like, he gets a lot of steals. That doesn't mean he plays great defense, but Edey just had his way with him. And then it was interesting. I love Stephen Bardo for like I just want to put that out there. But I think Coleman Hawkins, the only stop that he got one-on-one against Edey in the game, right after it happened, it was at the very end of the game when Edey was hobbling even. Bardo said, like, see, that's why he belongs on the all defensive team. When Edey was just torching him all game. I'm like, come on, Bardo. Come on, man. Like, you have seen him get torched just as many times as I have tonight.
And
like,
not just torched by Edey, but Braden had his way with him too. No matter how Hawkins played that ball screen, Braden got exactly the look he wanted and the shot he wanted or the pass he wanted. Like Hawkins, everybody talks about he can guard 1 through 5. No, you need to change that to 3 and 4. He can guard a 3 or a 4. That's about it. He can't lock down a 5. He can't lock down a speedy point guard, period. He's good against 3s and 4s because he's got the size and the length, but he can't stay. He doesn't have a lot of quickness to stay with a point guard that's shifty like Braden is, and he's not got the size to even have a chance against the Haas like Edey. He don't even have a chance against TKR. Gillis could probably post him up. Like, come on.
So I want to address this comment. I want to get everyone's opinion. I hate Coleman Hawkins, but damn, I would love him on Purdue as the starter.
Absolutely not.
No.
Hell no.
His,
We're good.
His
Hell
attitude and
We're
his
fine.
baby back bitch lifestyle. No.
What?
Yeah.
That's the kind of guy that Painter stopped recruiting
Mhm.
to change and put guys that he wants on his team that are the right fit for Purdue.
And it's turned out pretty
I
well.
would I would like him with the caveat that he just stays off of Twitter and social media and just
I think I
shouldn't
would
be
like him if
things
he
like
came to
that.
Purdue as a freshman because Painter would have beat that down from the start.
follow-up comment minus the attitude. There we go.
Right.
Yeah. Minus the attitude. Cool. And then like, people are talking about Purdue's acting like this game's their Super Bowl. Like when that shot he
It's
made in the
completely the
first half,
opposite.
like he pulled a Matt Harms. Like
Yeah.
he went nuts. And I'm like, dude, you just made a layup. Like, chill. I mean,
Yeah.
he pulled a Matt Harms.
Congratulations.
If
Yeah.
there's,
Well,
if
and
there's
it's
one way I
so
can
funny to-
describe, I think how Purdue fans feel about this game is Purdue fans didn't want to lose this game as bad as Illinois fans wanted to win the game.
Yep.
If that makes sense. Like Purdue fans weren't like, we've got to win this game. It was just more like, we do not want to lose this game and hear this
I
shit.
just didn't want to hear them talk.
Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly.
Like how I am.
And a
I just-
comment here, Hawkins is way too hyped up. He wasn't hyped up at the end. He looked pretty
No.
worn down there at the
Very
very
defeated.
end. Yeah, I mean,
Uh,
he did drive a wide open lane for that basket. But let's talk about some of the things that happened at the end there. There was a lot of upset Illinois fans who thought that Braden bounced the ball off of his foot. It did happen at the same time as a very blatant foul, in my opinion. I mean, there's a very blatant foul there that by Guerrier, in my opinion. So like, is that bang bang? Yeah, I mean, it just happens in basketball. But that final shot by Braden, man, just
that was
like I was telling you guys, I
cold-blooded.
thought it was blocked because it was so flat.
Mhm.
But like when that went in, I lost it.
Yeah.
It's like there's no way that just happened.
My voice hurts.
Well,
There
you
you
know
go.
what's
There you
crazy?
go, Dylan. There you go. That first one didn't really work too well.
It didn't. It didn't work at all.
So the big time boiler says what made this one so big is that you could tell Illinois wanted this one bad, really bad. It was their Super Bowl. Absolutely. And that's what, like, I don't get where people are saying that Purdue fans thought that this was our Super Bowl. At least I didn't see it on Twitter or anything. To me, this was a very, like, if we win, awesome. If we lose, doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things. Like, I was even talking to a friend of mine that I was like, I could see Purdue losing by like 10 or 15 tonight because they just, not that the guys are going to take a night off, but like, didn't matter. Like, but yeah, it was just good to see the guys, lock in and play like they did to finish out the game. But yeah,
Ryan Elderding, I think that's how you say his name, brought up a good point on Twitter. He just tweeted me. He said, at Dylan Kuhn _ shout out to Dylan for the halftime shirt change. Won't show up in the box score, but really swung things in our favor. The first half, I was wearing an orange Carhartt, and I'm laying on my couch watching the game, and I look down, and I go, huh. like an audible, like, what am I doing? And I like run into my laundry room, and first shirt I find, the boys, and change shirts. So like, not all heroes wear capes. Some of them wear Boiler Express shirts.
Love it.
Yeah. You're welcome, everybody.
I think again, this is, and they mentioned it on the post game that like this might be the most impressive win for Purdue.
Don't do dip, folks. It's bad.
Well, I don't know if you heard the
That's
I don't know if you heard the pregame commentary or not, but the guy was saying that this game will determine who the best team in the Big Ten is, which I think is really silly, because you know, if you tack an extra minute onto this game, maybe Purdue doesn't win. Or I just like that's just that's just such a dumb way of thinking, in my opinion. But it's like this game determined who the best team in the Big Ten is, and then that same guy at halftime just bashed Purdue the entire time.
Yeah.
So I would love to know from that guy if he thinks Purdue is the best team in the Big Ten now. But you know, we heard from a lot of the Illinois fan base in the last few days that like I'm not sure Purdue can score 90 points because that's how many points you have to score to beat Illinois because our offense is so good, and they just completely overlooked Purdue's defense, in my opinion. But Purdue scored 77 and won the game by 2 possessions. So,
all right, the latest
noodles in the house.
take. I'm going to update real quick, y'all. Now they're saying that they're going to beat us in the Big Ten tournament and the NCAA tournament.
Cool, yeah.
We're going to keep playing, and they're eventually going to get one of these guys. Even though Purdue's won 5 straight in the series now,
we'll get you again. Get out of here. Get lost.
Freaking nerds.
That time, Terrence Shannon Jr. will make the difference, right?
That's right.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I mean, and I feel like all things considered, I mean, Edey was 13 for 23. I mean, he missed a lot of easy shots there at the end. I mean, it's hard to knock on Edey when he has 28 points, but like there were, you know,
the efficiency was not there.
Yeah, I think, you know, any other given night, he's going to make a few more of those. So, you know, this easily could have been a 10, 12-point win if, you know, a couple more of those shots would have gone down. But how silly is Brad Underwood? Like
he's dumb.
Because that foul in the first half where Guerrier got, I think it was Fletcher, like right on the arm.
Right.
I mean, right on the arm. And his back was to Brad Underwood. And like they showed Underwood just losing his mind. I'm like, why would you even protest that? Like, A, you can't see from where you are. B, it was night and day. So if you could there's really no reason for you to I don't know. I don't like that man. There are a lot of coaches I love, especially in the Big Ten, but I just don't like him.
He just reminds me his coaching style reminds me his coaching style is emulated by his players. Super arrogant and don't know what's going on.
Right.
This is so fun, guys.
I will say the
Illinois is how you like.
I will say the one time that Underwood seemed to draw a play up actually was that out of bounds play where they got the kind of alley-oop to Terrence Shannon Jr.
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay, so he drew up one play, so he should be coach of the year. Underwood coach of the year.
I'll say this: if Painter's not coach of the year, I'm going to riot.
I think it's okay, but I don't think you should reward a coach just because your team is normally shit, and this year you guys are like middle of the pack. I don't think that like Painter has literally gone back-to-back years, and not only did he get snubbed last year. Let's not forget, not only did we win the conference by 3 games or whatever it was, but we also were unranked to number 1 in what was it, 34 days? Was that last year? You know, the fastest turnaround that there's ever been, and then you're like, oh, Chris Collins, you guys are usually really shit, but this year you're like shit light, so we're gonna, you know, good job, buddy. Like you're definitely the best coach in this conference. It's like absolutely not. That's so stupid.
Yeah, it's garbage.
It's an interesting comment here I want to ask you all about from the Noodle. Hey Noodle, by the way.
It was.
Our guy,
the last 3 by Smith was Carson-esque.
Absolutely.
100%.
Ice in his veins, pulling up when there was no other option, hitting that. Oh my God.
Down on the shot clock. Well, it was under 5, I think, right?
So do you all remember at the end of last season when I did some comparison of Braden's numbers his freshman season to Carson's numbers his freshman season? There's a lot of similarities there. I mean, I don't think it's crazy to think that Braden could morph into a Carson-esque type of player. Because I remember in an interview once where he said he's not in high school, he was not really a pass first guy. Now he became a pass first guy in AAU and at Purdue, but I saw a little bit of Carson in him tonight. The thing I love about Braden is he only takes what's there. And so if the defense wants to play his score, he's going to pass. If they want to play his pass, then he's going to score. And I like that about him. A comment here: why do Illini fans get so hyped and then come with all the excuses? Agreed. What were we saying, Damon?
No, I was just saying that like in the team itself did so well in the second half. I think they said that they shot like 8 of 10 that second half from 3, like 80% in the second half. That's insane.
The one comment I'll make on the Braden Carson comparison is after going back to look at it, I don't think that they are that similar. I mean, they're very impactful, but again, Carson was a 2. He played point guards, you know, kind of his freshman year, but after that he was pretty much a 2. and Braden is a facilitator one. And freshman sophomore year, Braden basically had double the assists and double the rebounds, and Carson got him in points. So I think that they could go down as similarly impactful and huge players in Purdue history. But I think they're just two different roles. And that's why I don't think Braden can lead us in scoring next year. I mean, I should say he could lead us in scoring next year, but I don't think he will because of that. Because we need his decision making. We need his, the way, like, there were so many times tonight, especially late in the game, I was very proud of him, that you look at like first half of the freshman year Braden, and what is he doing? He's driving to the baseline and leaving his feet and trying to look for somebody to pass it back to, right? But tonight, over and over, and you've seen it this season too, but tonight it was just kind of cool to see it against Illinois in one of the bigger games of the year, and to see him make the room to curl on the baseline and then not try to throw something up on the rim, knowing that they've got the height advantage, but he actually curls it back out, waits and finds what he needs or what he wants, and then makes the play that should be made. So go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, and did I see at the end that Braden, like as the buzzer went off, was Braden pointing in his finger, like the ring finger?
Yeah,
I think so,
was.
yeah.
Yeah, my wife
it.
asked what that meant. And,
The Angel Reese. It's the Angel
I
Reese.
actually loved the
the going to
And
sleep.
it was funny
yeah.
too because it was like very quick. He like hit that three and he was like, "Okay, shit, let's get back to it."
he's like, Painter's so gonna rip my ass for this.
So one guy we haven't mentioned yet who deserves some mention, in my opinion. I'm not a fan of plus minus. It's void of a ton of context. Highest plus minus of anyone tonight is Mason Gillis.
Nice.
10
Oh yeah,
points.
he also
4
had some
assists.
huge clutch threes.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
only had
he
two
had
threes,
some-
but they were both huge. Like,
Well, and then
big
getting to the line twice in the first half, drawing that
Mm-hmm.
foul, maybe stuck his leg out a little bit. I'm not going to judge. I
Hey,
mean,
look,
like
with
we
the amount
saw,
of
we saw Michigan State baiting fouls left and right, and they got away. They got about half of them. So
that's all Illinois
don't
did
hate the
tonight.
player,
That's
hate the game.
80% of Illinois' fouls where they're going to drive to the basket and then all of a sudden just throw themselves shoulder first into the defender and then throw a layup up and get a foul call. Even though our
Chris
defenders are going
just took a
straight up.
charge.
Like,
So
ridiculous.
how about
Headphones
how
fell
about
off.
Hawkins? How about Hawkins shoulder checking Fletcher in the first half too?
Bro, and they didn't
Yeah,
even look at it for flagrant.
I didn't
That's
see
not,
that.
I think 9 times out of 10 that gets called a flagrant. Like
Mhm.
he lowered his shoulder and laid the boom on Fletcher. I mean, like
Yep.
it was like they were playing football out there. So again, it's really hard to complain about officiating on either side. In my opinion,
I will say the other unsung guy is Heidi and his defense. His defense was fantastic tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was he stuck to his guy.
Yeah.
I really feel like he could rival Rayfel Davis in terms of just being a two-way player. Like, because he's got the athleticism, he has the hardware, he's got the software now. He can hit threes. That's the thing, is that we've got some guys that some Purdue fans don't like being on the court because they are really good defenders but can't shoot. But Heidi adds that little
Interesting question.
Yeah,
Could
I
being
want
a-
to. Yeah, go ahead, Chris.
Could being a second half team hurt us in the tournament? I don't
we
think
are second
so.
half team.
I think we're a second half team in the fact that, like, when we're down at halftime, we make some wild adjustments to fix ourselves.
But how many times have we been down at the half this year?
I
6.
think
Well,
7
sorry,
now.
7. This was the 7th. Yeah, we're 5
Yeah,
and
Well,
2.
and
I
we're
would-
5-2.
I would say to an extent there have been a lot of games that I can think of where the game plan coming out in the second half, Gonzaga, for example, like just was where we really started to pull away.
Mhm.
Today's another good example. But like it was close, or maybe like we had a lead and then we extended it at the beginning of the second half. Yeah, I don't know. I don't. I mean, people always knock Painter's in-game adjustments, but I don't know. I think that it's going to be a game-by-game basis. So.
I think the big adjustment that helped us was actually Underwood's adjustment, which was because Edie had 18 points in the first half, they started doubling the post right out of the gate in the second half. Well, our players are so quick and ready for that at any moment that they didn't hesitate. And all of a sudden, we hit 3 of the first 4 3-point attempts in the second half, because it was like, oh, okay, you want to switch that? Cool. You just helped us out with our halftime adjustments.
Mhm.
Also, you know what's so crazy to me? I noticed this towards the end of the game is that, I mean, this was this game Purdue never really got away from Illinois. Like, this was always a close game throughout. I mean, we didn't even get the lead until like late in the second half.
Yeah.
But there was a time with like 2 or 3 minutes left in the game. Purdue was up by maybe 3 at this point in time, and Coach Painter's just sitting on the
Just
bench
chilling.
while PJ Thompson's up there like orchestrating everything. So
Yeah.
that was like if you like that is faith in your assistant coach right there. That
Yeah.
is like this guy knows what he's doing. I'm gonna let him do his thing. I'm gonna hang out back here and just do my thing. But like that was crazy to me because I mean it was a close like this wasn't like Purdue was up by 20 and this was a a non-con game. This was like for outright
Mhm.
first place in the Big Ten against the second team in the second ranked team in the conference. So it was really cool to see that. So good on PJ.
Yeah.
So
Dude, PJ's been an unsung hero as well.
Yeah, PJ's been really really good. He will be a D1 coach very soon.
Oh, yeah.
I feel
Yeah.
confident about that. So some interesting numbers here. 41, almost 42% of Purdue's points were in the paint. Anyone want to guess what percentage of Illinois' points came in the paint? So Purdue 42, Illinois.
I don't know. Damask felt like he
10.
lived there for a while, so I don't know.
It's not 10.
Let's say 35.
50. I don't know.
Dylan?
We all know I'm really good at these.
yeah.
38.
38. We got a
Sure.
guess here in the comments. 36.
Oh, I thought you
Russ?
said it was 38. I was about to freak out.
Russ? Guess?
Big Ruth.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm shouting out answers and
Oh.
I'm freaking muted.
Come on, Russ. Figure
I was laughing because we're like all the place, like
We got another
10,
guess.
12,
55
35,
here.
38.
Give me the answer.
We guess a percentage or total points?
Yeah, percentage. Yeah, percentage. So Purdue 42% of their
Oh,
points came in the
percentage.
paint. What percentage of Illinois' points?
Now,
came
do
in the
free
paint?
throw
Yeah.
attempts off of a paint foul count as paint points or no?
I don't believe so. No, I don't believe so.
Then I'm going to say 20%, right around 20%.
It's 56%.
Oh,
Jeez.
Yeah,
Jeez.
so
man.
the noodle was closest. His original guess 55, and upped it to 65.
Say
But
Damask is
noodle.
probably 90% of that.
yeah. So Damask scored a lot in the paint. Yeah, I mean they had
Really
that
good footwork.
stretch where Ty Rogers was getting a lot of easy shots at the rim. Hawkins, they didn't honestly shoot the ball. I don't know what the
Yeah, they
number
only had
was.
4 3-pointers on the game.
That was it.
Yeah, just 4.
It
4
was,
16.
seems like
it
all
was all in the
four-
first half.
It felt like 10.
Well, there was it Guerrier that missed like a wide open one with about a minute there left?
Yeah.
I thought, oh, he's about to tie it up right here, and he missed it, and we got the rebound. I was like, it might be ball game.
But Guerrier hit the heat check 3 in the
Yeah.
first half.
Oh,
Like
my
came
goodness.
down, it was contested by First, it was right up in his face, and it went right in. But
That's got to be
Yeah.
like a less than 10% chance of making that 3. Like, that was nuts.
4 for 16. Yeah, I felt all 4 of them had to be in the first half. It felt like they weren't. Yeah, because at one point in the first half they said they were 4 for 11, and I thought, man,
Yeah.
it feels like they're 10 for 11.
Yeah.
It just felt like they were all going in. So that's I mean, credit Purdue's defense. I felt like Purdue did a really good job defensively. Really good job trapping the box, Xing out and scrambling, out of Illinois' kind of ISO ball. But they have the most unentertaining offense in the Big Ten. Just putting it out there.
Yeah, the only
It's like-
weakness, and I would guess that Painter's going to talk about the rebounding after the game. I'm going to guess that he's going to talk about our offensive rebound or our defensive rebounding, because that was kind of the big issue in the first half, was we were not finding bodies and boxing people out. And there was many times where guys were right there. Like if they just turned and realized the guy's right behind him and put a butt on him, we get that rebound. But then they get the rebound and they hit a 3, or they get the rebound and get an easy putback.
Yeah, you got to put a butt on him.
Tell you
Yeah,
what, though,
Water found its level though. I mean, Purdue ended 35% offensive rebounding percentage, which is actually higher than Illinois' at 34%. So Water did find his level, but yeah, it seemed like early in the first half we would have had a substantial lead if we had just rebounded better. But there was one possession where Edey went to box out someone and there was no one there, and he like kind of turned around and then just like kept playing. It was really funny. I'll have to go back and find that.
this makes now that we've won this game, this makes that picture of Edey carrying around the Big Ten championship like it's a case of beer, like heading back. I don't know where he was heading from, but like just makes that
Somewhere
picture
important.
even better now.
There's a photo of him. He has it. I guess it'd be his apartment, but you just see him and then the Canadian flag in the background, and it was just, and then the trophy is rad.
Did I mention, or did one of you mention? I know I was looking at the line I cast a little bit there. Did one of you mention the turnovers for Purdue in the game?
They're still going.
Yeah, no, I haven't, but I've looked
Only
at
8.
it.
8 turnovers. That's
Wow.
kind of our goal, right? Is to be 10 or under.
Yeah.
Because if you're, Painter's talked about before that if you can average around 8, you're going to be in like the top 10 in the country in,
Mhm.
in lowest turnovers. So that was huge. And if you're an Illinois fan, I mean, how about I feel like it was like 3 or 4 times at least that they turned the ball over from stepping on the sideline or stepping on the
Yeah.
baseline. Like, I mean, come on. Like that's those are killer. Unforced errors, like not even defense, nothing other than you just not having situational awareness on the court. That's
It's a
crazy.
great comment here. Only 2 good things have come out of Champaign: REO Speedwagon and Dog and
I
Sons.
love it.
Love that.
Apparently,
By the way,
guy
we
that owns Jimmy John's or created Jimmy John's lives in Champaign too.
He does. Yeah,
But
that's
I don't
a
like
That's not
Jimmy
bad.
John's.
odd
so-
trivia fact. Yeah, he hunts lions and
oh,
elephants and
screw
stuff.
that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he can go
Why?
kick rocks. By the way, make sure you go visit our friends at the Illini Cast and comment some choo-choos, some train emojis. You know, just give them a good view for them. They're in a bad spot and they need the love and support. So
I think, you know, as I look at the shot charts here, one thing sticks out. You know, Illinois was 1 for 6 on mid-range twos. And gosh, it feels like they hit a lot more than that, you know.
Well, we were
Uh,
6 of 10.
I feel like
5
they just
for
drove
12.
to the basket
Okay.
a lot.
I felt like we hit a ton of them.
Yeah, Illinois was 15 for 22 at the rim.
Yeah.
And Purdue was 9 for 19 at the rim tonight. Not ideal, but
Wow.
yeah. So I just
Okay.
I don't know. I felt like they hit a ton of mid-range twos, but I guess my memory is incorrect. Which
trying to
it
be
often-
like Russ with the no, Russ actually has really good memory
With the olds.
with the olds.
And yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
Illinois has never been a team all season, and we've talked about this a lot, especially those of us who've been on the huddle. That you know, they're not a high assist team. When you look at their 36% assist percentage, but their assist turnover ratio is 0.75. Purdue's is 2.5. So
You know what my favorite play of this game was? And this just goes back to the whole Coleman Hawkins, thinking he's way better than what he is in the second half when, he gets the ball out and he clears everybody out. He's like waving them out, because it's him and Edie. He's at the top of the key, and he's like, calling for the ISO, which is funny because like he calls for the ISO, but then he passes it so that he can get a running start to the lane because he's not like good enough to just drive the ball to the lane and get past Edie on his own. So he passes it to the guy to his left. The guy dishes it back to him, and he tries to take it up for a layup or try to dunk it. And Edie just like absolutely says, "Not today, not today." And Edie has that little stare down with him there at the end. Oh my gosh!
yeah, I was worried they were going to call a tech there. Thankfully they did not.
I wish they would have. I would have worn that tech proudly. I would have clapped for Edie getting that technical.
Yeah, for sure.
There are there's one thing we haven't mentioned. Anyone want to guess how many free throws Edie shot tonight?
17.
Yeah, I have no idea. I don't know. 11.
13.
This can't be right.
Oh,
It says 4.
Yeah, I mean they could have been those two at the end of the
That's
towards the end of the game.
absolutely not correct.
that's fake.
I don't think
news.
that's correct.
No, he shot at least 6 because he had back-to-back where he missed the first free throw, and that was in the second half. And I know he shot the first half.
Yeah. I'm just going to go ahead and make the assumption that that's incorrect, but
Well, if you would
then
ask an
I'm going to
Illinois
assume
fan-
this next number is incorrect too. Illinois shot 21 free throws to produce 14.
That doesn't seem right.
Hmm.
All right,
Okay.
fellas, I have to bounce out, but
Have a good night, Chris.
Jesus, good win. Let's wrap it up with probably an emotional senior day on Sunday. So,
Oh,
Yeah,
it's
I'm
gonna
gonna
be very
cry.
large.
so I will see you guys next week.
All right, see you, brother.
Senior day is going
Yeah.
to be probably the worst since the Big Four left, and we
When,
have to listen to Haas
when
talk
Haas-
about how we
Haas
helped his
cried.
family. Yeah,
Yeah.
rough.
You think they're gonna retire 15?
I don't
think
think they
it's-
retired
it
any
wouldn't
numbers.
shock
I don't
me.
know if they would, but
Yeah, we got some comments here about the number of free throws. I don't know if that's guesses or actual numbers. I'm checking. Nick Burris says, Dylan, they are upset at me
They
on
are.
the Illini cast.
One of
and
the
all-
guys I'm watching on my phone. One of the guys is podcasting and driving at the
Driving.
same time. Don't
Don't pod
podcast
and drive, kids.
Don't
Don't
do
do
it. It's bad. You'll wreck. We don't recommend it. We don't love it.
So I've
They
checked
are.
two different sources for box scores. Both have Edie at 4 free throws. It felt like he shot more than that. But so now I got 2 different
100%.
sources. CBS. I'm looking at CBS. I'm looking at CBB Analytics. But both of them have Purdue with 14 free throws to Illinois' 21.
Yeah, you can't say CBB Analytics is wrong, man. It's one of our sponsors.
Well, I mean,
I'm just
they
messing with you.
yeah, I mean, who knows? I mean, yeah, it's
Shout out to CBB Analytics.
Yeah.
All your stops
Yeah.
and goes for the
But,
analytic needs.
few comments here. Dylan, one addressed to you. I have to agree with you when you talk
Oh,
about
my
how
guy
the Illinois
Cody.
student section was chanting "F you."
It was terrible.
If that was the paint crew, it'd be a crime. I
The
just think
least-
it's unoriginal.
The least creative student section I've ever seen. Like, you can't get. I'm glad Nick. Yeah, I see Nick in the comments over there stirring the pot. I love it. We can always count on Nick. By the way, go visit our friends at the Illini Cast.
They don't. They already don't have a great opinion of Purdue fans, and so I'm sure Nick's over there.
They made
Nick's-
a comment about wishing that Purdue fans were as classy as our coach. When their fan base is literally chanting, "Fuck you, Edie."
The worst student section I've ever seen.
Several times. Like, it's terrible.
I don't know.
I will say though, I was impressed
Maryland's
because
pretty bad.
Illinois
everything
sounded
Maryland
as
is bad.
loud as I've ever heard it. I feel like on TV. That's about as loud as I've heard Illinois.
Yeah, but they were loud, but they were dumb.
Yeah, I know. But I mean, they turned up. They turned up. I'm gonna give
They were turned up. Look at you.
They were turned up.
I didn't think they got that loud tonight.
Yeah,
it felt
Nick.
like a very,
They don't know. They don't know Nick.
They're also over the Illini Cast. They're already starting with the whole. Well, just wait till Edie's not there anymore. Wait till he's gone. Like, okay, because we haven't heard that narrative
wait till
for the
Terrence
last 15
Shannon Jr.
years.
is gone. Wait till Coleman Hawkins is gone.
You know,
wait
we
till
would
your
go
other
on
good
with them
players
if
are
they didn't
gone.
invite us on a podcast 5
Such
minutes
a
before
dumb
they go
argument.
live.
Right.
Hey, fellas, that's a lot of gold you got.
Hey, pause up. That's one
What's
of our
up?
one of our homies.
Florida brethren.
I was just in Florida. Love
down there
Florida.
in the sunny state, sunshine state. Let's go.
Welcome in. Appreciate you stopping by. Yeah, I don't know. You can go back and you can say, well, wait till AJ Hammonds is gone. Wait till Isaac Haas is gone. Wait till Caleb Swanigan's gone. Wait till the big four are gone. Wait till Carson Edwards is gone.
Paint,
wait till
Jaden Ivey's gone.
Paint brought up how like you're nothing without without Edie, and he's like, no shit.
Like, yeah, right. I love
no
that.
Shit. Like, duh. Like,
well,
you're not.
Toxic. I talked about
you're
too.
Just,
if when I stumbled through that little solo Russ rant today, I talked about how Painter has had 20 different All-American selections, and he's going to have 21, maybe 22 after this year as well. So, and Underwood has 3, and two of those 3 are Kofi Coburn having it back-to-back years. So, like, Painter is literally, he just churns through the talent. Like, wait till Zach Edey's gone. Okay, well, wait till Kanan Catchings comes back or shows up. I'm sorry. Wait till Cam Heide comes back as the starting 3. Right? Wait till Will Bird comes in and just crushes your dreams with another 7-footer, or Jacobson, or whoever. Like, keep doubting Painter. Like, I don't understand how he doesn't have more Coach of the Year awards, because this happens every year. People forget that last year we were picked 5th in the conference and we won it by 3 games. And now Illinois goes to Iowa. They have to play at Iowa in a conference where home teams are winning in an overwhelmingly high rate. Like 80% of home teams in the Big Ten are winning. And that's higher than any other conference. And they have to play at Iowa. If they drop that game and we beat Wisconsin, we win the conference by 4 games this year. Like, that's nuts.
Yeah, it's nuts.
I want to address Cody's comment here. Trust me, my IU family members are already saying that IU are going to win the Big Ten and national championship next year.
Snooze.
So that's where IU fans' heads are at now. They're already moving on to next season. Yeah.
Some of those dusty.
So what coach is transferring there and bringing all his talent with him?
I mean, they have to worry about keeping their players right now, honestly.
Are they thinking they're going to steal Painter and he's going to bring all the players down there? Like, I don't know how they're going to
not to stray off subject too far, but it's fascinating to me to see Khalil Ware's name left off of a lot of mock drafts right now. It scares me.
He's late. He's late
because early in the season he was like a top 10 pick, and there are some there. I've seen some drafts with him like mid-second round now. So the thought of him coming back with all the NIL money they have, I don't like that at all. So
yeah, but
I wish he would have played better.
I just don't feel like he's been that impactful. Like you said, it's ironic to sit there and say, I hope he doesn't come back, but he's dropping down boards because he's not played well. So if he comes back, what's going to change?
Yep, agreed. The IU comment here. My IU friends already on the Painter can't win big games, national championship crap. I mean, yeah, we've all heard that Painter can't win big games, and I mean this is a big game. I thought
we need to really have a vigil for whatever team we play in the first round, whatever 16 seed that they give us this year. need to have a candlelight vigil for them because it's probably going to be ugly.
I'm not even.
That's what you said about the Ohio State game, Russ. Can't trust
Russ?
anything that you say.
Oh,
now.
I didn't. That
Uh,
wasn't even close. Okay.
I will
The
come
Ohio
down there
State
to
game was
Louisville
nowhere near.
and kick your ass.
I'm not gonna lie, like I'm very much enjoying how this season is going, and I'm very much in the moment. But I'll be such a liar if I don't say there's a small part of me that's like, oh my god, imagine if we lost in the first round again.
That's being a Purdue fan, though. We're a broken folk. I mean, we're a broken bunch who has been
Right.
through the ringer a few times.
Right.
And
So
it's
whenever good things happen, we're like, oh, when's the shit happening?
Right.
Where's
it's
the-
crazy. And Russ mentioned it today on the episode of Russ Rants, which if you haven't heard, definitely go check it out. It's still really good content. As he mentioned, Painter has been to 4 of the last six Sweet 16s, and I've had Purdue fans like argue with me on that and say that's not true. But like the St. Peter's loss was in the Sweet 16. I mean, Purdue got to the Elite Eight with Virginia. They lost to Texas Tech. They lost to Kansas. Purdue has been to 4 of the last 6. So that was. I mean,
think
that's
the reason that
overlooked
happens
fact.
is they try to throw Little Rock in there. Like Little Rock was right before COVID or something, when Little Rock was literally like 10 years ago now at this point. Like,
the Illini cast is here.
Hey, what's up, guys?
They caught on to us. Oh no.
No, Little Rock was in 2014.
literally 10 years ago. Yeah.
I remember watching that game well. Vince
Cincinnati
Edwards got the
before that.
rebound and thought they were ahead, and he just stood there. Anyone remember that? He
Yeah,
didn't
pulled the
realize
J.R.
the game
Smith.
was tied.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just kind of stood there. Yeah, Nick Burris
Oh
is
Lord, here we go.
tossing
Nick's
out
one of my favorite people.
some Hail
Nick's a
Mary.
dog. Nick will
Yeah.
do anything for this podcast. He's one of our soldiers.
He's one of our soldiers.
No, I mean, this was so going into this game, I thought Purdue could lose by 10 or Purdue could win by 10, and anything in
That's what I
between
thought
was
too.
possible. That was kind of the upper and lower limit, that like plus or minus 10 for either team, and I just assumed anything in that range was possible. So I didn't know what to expect. Honestly, didn't expect Terrence Shannon would have a 3 for 13 game from the floor. He got to the line several times. He had 5 free throws, only 11 points. But I thought he'd be more of a menace than he was. That he just wasn't. He looked to distribute a lot more. He wasn't really looking for his own shot, it seemed like. But that was I got a comment here from the Illini cast. Fantastic game tonight. I don't think anyone goes home upset.
I think a lot
I
of your
agree.
people do.
Yeah, my heart rate's still elevated for sure. It was
From the sounds of
Uh,
the stadium there, it seems like a lot of people wearing orange went home kind of upset.
man, I hated how they showed that girl at the end who looked like she was trying to hold back tears in the student section.
Do you guys remember the Northwestern kid, the crying Northwestern fan?
That was the coach's
Yes.
kid, wasn't it?
Was it?
I thought it was. Maybe not. Maybe I.
Oh, I don't
They
know.
just did that for
not.
the news to make the story better.
That was it's fake news. I saw. No, or the Villanova flute player who was absolutely bawling her eyes out while playing the flute.
You know what fan I love? I want to know how he's doing nowadays. Is the guy that's in the Purdue marching band that was like, I'm just here to play music.
That kid's an MVP. Love that guy.
Yeah.
Would've
Oh
beat
yeah,
the
the
brakes
Tennessee
off him.
fan. It was at the Music City Bowl, and he's like, whatever. And he's like, I'm just here to play music, man. Like, I think they put it on a shirt.
Dude, that was a bad look for Tennessee fans. That's one team I don't want to see in the postseason because I don't want to have to deal with their fans. Tennessee fans are, in my opinion, from what I've been exposed to, not speaking for the fan base as a whole, they just are not nice people.
Rocky Top's kind of cool.
I'll just say I've never gone to a game, and again, most of them are probably home games, so I don't know if I have a large sample size of away games, but I've never gone to an away game or neutral site game where I've had a opposing team's fan warn me and apologize for their fans before the game even started, like an hour before the game started. Like, I should have known the Music City Bowl was going to be crazy when they did that. Like, they're literally apologizing, like, hey, it's going to be rough, just so you know. No matter what happens, it's going to be rough.
What did that
They were-
gentleman
they were
say
right.
to us at Walmart in Blacksburg, Virginia, when we were all wearing our Purdue jerseys?
Oh,
He was
what's
he was
the
forced,
thing?
like he was like, go beat him.
No,
right?
he was,
like,
but he was like, you guys going to the game? And we were like, yeah. And he was like, God help you, or something like that. As if
Yeah.
like we were going into battle or something. I was
yeah,
like,
that's
what?
Virginia.
They're the
Speaking of-
nicest people ever. I don't know what he
exactly. I was
talking
gonna say,
about.
speaking of mean fans, Virginia Tech fans were the nicest people in the world. Like that was nuts. Like having people literally thank us for making the trip. Like, oh, hey, I hope it's a good game. Y'all have a good team. It should be a good game. Like, appreciate y'all making the trip out here. Hope you enjoy the stadium.
For the record, if we go back to the OHIO podcast comment, Sonny, you are the man, or a much better human than Jesus Christ. If I could read,
Wow,
Sonny.
Human than cheese.
Russ keeps texting the numbers of people that are watching. It gets in your head a little bit. All right. No, I do like big fan of Sonny at the Illini cast. Handsome son of a gun. Just want to throw. I'm just talking shit. It's fun. But yeah, good for Sonny. Eh?
I said earlier, like Sonny in my rant this afternoon, that Sonny's like the best opposing fan you could have interactions with. Like he gives respect to Painter, he gives respect to Purdue, and he takes homer takes that you would take as a diehard fan of your team. Like you want your coach to win Coach of the Year, you want your players on first team. Like so, he's not, he's cool dude. He's cool dude. He's friendly, and like I said, he pays respect, but he has his homer
Just a
takes.
shame that he's an Illinois fan.
Gray head of hair on that guy too.
Yeah, no. So Sonny is one of my favorite people to listen to.
All right, guys, we're kissing too much ass now. Come on.
No, but I do want to shout out Burke from Off and Donned too as well.
Now we're giving credit to IU
great
people.
Content
what are we doing?
We've had
Next we're gonna start
Burke on here
Virginia
before.
podcast.
I'm just trying to promote some of the better people we've collaborated with. That's
I'll tell you what, FDU's got some real nice people over there. Fairleigh Dickinson.
Sonny, we appreciate that. All love and respect from my side. I still don't like Purdue guys, but enjoy BXP folks. Yeah,
thank you.
We appreciate that.
Love you, Sonny. Good times.
So Noodle says they were very nice at Neyland last season. It helps when you wear orange. We actually visited Neyland on the way to Virginia Tech. We all had Purdue gear on. We walked around.
Yeah, we were gonna take a picture of the Purdue flag, and we're like, yeah, never mind.
Yeah,
Noodle.
really,
it doesn't help when you wear orange because I wore orange this first half of this game and I had to switch at halftime. Worked out though. MVP, no big deal.
Interesting question from Cody here. Here's a question: should we go ahead and win the Big Ten tournament and be tied in the first round of the tournament, or lose the Big Ten tournament and be rested up for the tournament?
So I actually talked about this last week. The Indy region, the Indy first and second round starts Friday. So it's a Friday, Sunday first and second round location. So we'll be off, even if we play Sunday, we'll be off for 4 days before we play again. So I'm not worried about going too far in the Big Ten tournament.
Yeah, I mean, I think Purdue has very little to gain from winning the Big Ten tournament, to be honest with you. I mean,
would that put us at 26 Big Ten championships if we won that? Or does that not work that way?
I think it's only regular.
Or, sorry, 27. 27.
Yeah, no. It's only regular. I don't even know who's won the most Big Ten tournament championships, but
I think Michigan State.
Well, I didn't know if they like combined.
Yeah,
so
I don't.
Here's a little background from the OHIO podcast saying Big Mac
Dylan,
Mary.
Read the comment. Yeah.
The OHIO podcast says Big Mac Mary from Purdue wasn't very nice, but she had a lovely singing voice. The OHIO guys came to Ross-Ade when Ohio State played at Purdue last year, and Eric and Chris are rather large gentlemen. And Aaron, who's also on the podcast, just retired military, fit as all hell, in great shape. Well, they said it themselves. I'm
Purdue
a big
grad,
fella.
right?
Yeah, Aaron, the Purdue grad, who was an Ohio State fan. I love Aaron. Anyway, they had a lady come down to their seats, and she's like, "You're in my seats." And he goes, "Lady, I'm in like 3 seats. Like, what are you doing? Like this? Oh, look who else is in the comments. Our guy,
Rayfel
Davis.
Rayfel Davis. They have everything to gain by winning the Big Ten tournament. I'm not one to argue with Rayfel Davis by any means, but I would love a little bit more expansion on that, because
I think it puts more of a stamp on the dominance
the
of this team in this era and Zach Edey. Like it just puts another stamp on how dominant this era has been, right? 3 straight years as the number 1 team, back-to-back years as Big Ten regular season champs. Like you almost have to finish it up and win the Big Ten tournament, or people are going to start talking about postseason and all that crap.
Rayfel, I want to tell you, if you're still listening, I thought about you the other day. I think about you a lot, actually, but
don't make a weird face.
I thought about him the other day because when he was on here, he told us the story of playing against Bryn Forbes, and he quoted Mike Tyson, and he said, "Everyone has a plan until they get punched in the face." And I saw that on a T-shirt. It says, "Everyone has a plan until they get punched in the face." I thought about Rayfel Davis when I saw
Was it my back is broken? My back is broken.
It's an interesting comment here from Cody. Cody says, "Don't tell my neurologist about me watching games because of my seizures. I'm not supposed to be watching the games." Cody,
Cody.
take care of your
relax.
health, man.
Cody,
Take care of your health.
stop it.
Number one.
Be-
That's
we
first
wa-
and foremost.
You're one of our most loyal viewers. We need you. Okay. So
Right.
stick around.
We've got a wedding
Listen-
to go to.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
invited to your wedding. Relax.
Yeah,
Love you, Cody.
we definitely don't want you to have a seizure or anything like that. Just come here. We'll recap the games for you. We can tell you what happened, what
Yeah.
went well, what
There you
didn't
go.
go well. But I understand. Like I check my heart rate during games, and it gets up to like 120 sometimes.
Frank does send us his heart rate in the group chat from his Apple Watch, and it
Yeah.
does get alarmingly high.
Yeah,
What, Nick? What does that even?
I'm not sure. Yeah,
Nick's
I
had a
think Nick
few too
having too
many.
much
may have
fun.
said on his phone or something. Yeah.
You butt dialed commented on a podcast. Only Nick could do that. I'm sure it means something that's not necessarily family friendly, but
Right. Shoot.
Well,
I
Is
th-
it time to wrap it up, gentlemen?
he says it's Mike Tyson with his lisp.
Okay.
Now I get it. Good one.
All right. I'm with you.
yeah.
Now we got it. You got to explain it, you know.
Yeah.
What a night, boys. Isn't this fun? Like, we're having fun. Zach Edey's here. Purdue's playing great ball. Like, let's all sit in the moment tonight before you go to bed. Thank the basketball gods and our lovely Matt Painter and Zach Edey and all these guys for everything they do, because this is just a lot of fun. And let's not look too forward to the future. Let's just enjoy what's going on. Let's just enjoy the moment.
Right.
You know, drink some of those Illini tears and let's have a good night's sleep.
And then right before you go to bed, you can get on martinvintage.com. Use code BXP at checkout to get yourself 10% off on a nice
And that's
t-shirt.
why you're the host.
You can also go to College Basketball Analytics, one of our other sponsors, and check out the. For many game, honestly, it doesn't matter if it's the Illinois game or whatever. Get prepared. Look, you can even look at opponents. Statistics. The teams that we're going to end up playing here soon. And then while you're at it, before you go to bed, after you're done looking at statistics, you can go and get yourself a blitz board so that you can have something to do pregame before the game starts. And because we're going to be watching a lot of basketball this month, so go to Cincy Blitz Boards and get yourself a blitz board as well. It's good for the family, good for friends, good for. You can play with yourself too. No judgment here.
Whoa,
Pause.
easy. Whoa.
Pause.
So
Family
hey,
program.
Hey,
Also, support the club hockey team. The boys are the best. They have 6 sweaters. I don't think you can buy them anymore. I don't think they're for sale much longer, but I have one and it's great. So support our club hockey team because those guys are the best. Okay.
just since it is the last pod we'll do, or the only pod we're doing in the week that we're planning to do anyways.
Not
Do you
the
guys want
last
to touch
one
on
ever.
Wisconsin real quick? Like, how confident do you feel about Wisconsin?
Dub.
What are your thoughts?
Billion.
Like,
Boilers by $1 billion.
well, we know what their letter is W. Yeah, we get that. But like,
I don't know. I feel like it's gonna be it could definitely be a good game. We know what Wisconsin can play like, but we also know that they've been struggling too. So just depends on what Wisconsin team shows up to Mackey. But I think with the an undefeated season at Mackey on the line, senior night for Lance Jones, Zach Edey, the emotions are going to be riding high. So I'm sure the guys are going to go out with a bang. So I could see the Boilers winning by, 12, 15, 20 points.
so the cheapest ticket right now is $195.
Dang.
So I think it's going to go up this week as it gets hyped up because, like you said, it's the last home game for who I think is the greatest player in Purdue basketball history, in Zach Edey. I talked about that.
Not hot take.
I talked about that on Sunday on the huddle. I think that you can't really compare, stats and eras and things like that as far as head to head, just who you think the better player is. Because yes, Rick Mount played one less year. Yes, he didn't have a 3-point line. Yes, Glenn Robinson was like probably one of the more successful NBA players as well as winning the National Player of the Year. But I think that you can't argue with the dominance of winning back-to-back National Player of the Year, and it's probably going to be unanimous National Player of the Year back-to-back because the last guy to do it was Ralph Sampson in the 80s. So, like, that's crazy. Like, I think you have to respect that Zach Edey is the most dominant in his era of any Purdue player in their era.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, it was really cool seeing Jay Billis go to bat for us Zach Edey, I should say, on College Game Day this last week. Him and I can't remember what his name is, the bald guy that's up there with him, Williams, I think.
Yeah, and he was the one defending Dalton
Dalton.
Connect, and
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if it's not unanimous. I mean, and he said some things that I thought were really like unfounded, and that like he said that like guards win in March, and the numbers support that. I would love to see those numbers because I've been looking for them. I think it's just something people say, but not like numbers don't necessarily back that up. Even when you look at UConn last year, their two highest usage players are both bigs. So I don't really know, but I think you said something about MVPs. The last X number of MVPs have been guards, but yeah, I don't know. I just I wouldn't shock me if someone chooses Dalton Connect.
I think where this team is different this year, and I think you saw the recipe tonight, because tonight was definitely an atmosphere of like almost like a Sweet 16 Elite 8 level game. I think that's the recipe we have now. Not that he can't get the final bucket like he did at Michigan State last year or something in a game like that where it's a one possession game. It's a high intensity atmosphere, but I think you see the fact that Edie can carry us a game, right? Our post play can carry us a game, but when the guards have to finish it off, they've got the cojones to finish it off this year in an environment that's not at our house, that's not with our balls. Okay, I know there's all that controversy about what basketball we're going to use.
Pause.
So
Plot.
that was too late, Dylan. You missed your chance. But I think that's the recipe, and I think that's why this team's different because, like I said, putting three guards in the lineup with Braden Smith, Fletcher Lawyer, and Lance Jones has changed the way this team plays a lot and the way it surrounds Zach Edey with shooters and talent. So I think that's the difference this year compared to last year and even past years before that.
Yeah, I think there was a possession tonight at the very end, within the last 2 minutes, where I think Edey got an offensive rebound, or no, it was at the end of the shot clock. They got it into Edey, and he kicked it out to the corner for Lance, who drained the three. And Bardo was like, I didn't like that decision of him to kick it out. I'm like, he had four guys like around him, like.
Well, even Hummel was saying that statistics would say that he should have went back up with it versus dishing it back out.
Yeah,
too.
Hummel said it was a smart play. He goes, that's a very smart play by Edey, that he could have been selfish and tried to just muscle it back up, but he found the wide open dude that knocked down a dagger.
I swear Bardo said he didn't like the decision at first, but I'm like, he had four guys on him. Like, so I feel like when you look at Fairleigh Dickinson last season, like that's what we couldn't do is make them pay for throwing 2-3 bodies at Edey the entire game. They were 5 for 26 from three. I think tells all you need to know about that game. So I just can't see that type of loss happening again because we saw Gillis, we saw Braden, we saw Lance Jones step up here at the end when other guys needed to make plays. So
again, for all that was said about Illinois shooting and their high-powered offense and how they can shoot the three with 5 different guys, who's the number one shooting team, 3-point shooting team in the Big Ten? Y'all's Purdue Boilermakers is the number one 3-point shooting in the Big Ten.
I mean,
so it's like
number 2 in the country, even.
That's insane. That's a huge improvement right there. If you're going to look at anything from last year to this year, right there.
Yeah, last year I think we were middle of the road. We were like 5th or 6th in the Big Ten. This year we're tops.
Yeah, I think Purdue was below average last season.
Yeah, in the nation we were below average. Yep, below average. Yep.
Yeah, but yeah, second in the country, and by 40.9%. Number 1 is Baylor at 41. So
yeah, depending on when the game is played or how many we hit in the most recent game, sometimes we jump to 1. But yeah.
So a comment that I'm very confused about. By the way, 35 days until college podcast realignment happens. Not really sure what that means. Anybody?
Done. Something's going down. Man,
you should know it.
Yeah,
that's what we call a teaser in the podcast business.
Stay tuned.
Big things.
Your eyes peeled, listener. Your eyes and your ears
are
happening. Big things.
If you listen and you wonder why Tennessee guys or pause up guys are commenting on our podcast, just saying.
Seems like something cool is happening.
So we talked for like 2 seconds about this Wisconsin game, and I said we might win by 10 or 15, and then we completely veered off of the track there. But what are you guys' score or game predictions?
Yeah, I think it's an electric atmosphere. That's where I was trying to go, and then we just got steered back into what a great night.
Let's go off topic.
I know, right? Off the rails. What? Jason Kelsey, that's our phrase. Okay,
that's right. That's right.
But
you'll hear from more people.
No, I think it is going to be one of the loudest atmospheres I think in recent history in Mackey, because it is Zach Edey's senior day, who is, like I said, I think going to go down as the greatest player in Purdue history. They're going to have to go ahead and start mining the material for his statue now because it's going to take a while. But you also have Mason Gillis, who has been huge for us. Ethan Morton, who has sacrificed a lot for this team and been huge for this team. Like, he had, as much as Heidi had some great possessions defensively, Morty battled his butt off on defense a lot of times too, and was huge defensively for us tonight. But you also got Carson Barrett, you got Chase Martin, and you got Lance Jones. You got 6 players walking tomorrow night, or not tomorrow night, Saturday night. So I think it's going to be electric. And like I said, it's going to build up this week. The more they talk about Zach Edey, the more they talk about this win, because this was kind of a late night win. When they start covering it tomorrow and later in the week, they're going to hype that game up, and it is going to be. I bet the price for a ticket nears $300 for Saturday would be my guess.
Yeah, I think Purdue did a good job in the first matchup of keeping AJ Storr under control. I don't know if they get so lucky a second time. Tyler Wall kind of had his way with Purdue in that first game too. I think we changed some things defensively. I think that was part of the game plan, that if someone's going to beat us, it's going to be Tyler Wall making some really, really tough shots over some really tall players. So, I think that this game's a little bit close. So Ken Pom predicts an 11-point win. I think it's a little bit closer than that. I think they hang around for a while, keep it within 5, and then Purdue pulls away at the end for 7-8 point win is my prediction. Dylan, I expect that same level of specificity from you.
No, Boilers by $1 billion. We know what it is.
What?
Boilers? What? By a damn what? $billion.
Damon, what say you?
Yeah, I don't know what the score is going to be, but like 10, 15-point win is what I'm predicting. So I don't know an exact number there, but honestly, and I don't remember where I saw the statistics, and I feel like Frank, you brought this up to me like a year or two ago, but it was like basically whatever team gets to 71st is like gonna win the game, or like is more likely to win the game. So as long as we get to 71st, that's all that matters to me.
I concur. Illinois dropped the spot in Ken Pom today.
Darn.
They were 11th, now they're 12th.
You hate to see it.
They're 4th in offense. They were 3rd. So.
All right, well, we will go ahead and wrap that up. We've already shouted out all the sponsors and everything, but as we've kind of hinted around a little bit throughout this episode, stay tuned, guys. We've got an announcement coming up sooner than later with a college, podcast realignment coming up here. So super excited about that, and can't wait to talk to you guys more about that and kind of see that all come to fruition here sooner than later.
Make sure you follow us on Twitter at Boiler Express _, Instagram, Facebook.
I think it's at Boiler_Express.
Yeah, right? I should know that. That's on me.
Important info here.
Yeah, that's
I do want to say one more thing too. I want to plug 2 different people and 2 different accounts. Sorry. So the Big Ten Huddle, and Casual Big Ten. Follow them on Twitter. Myself and maybe some of the other guys are going to be kind of getting on with them during the Big Ten tournament and maybe even during the NCAA tournament for like some, post-game rap shows, post-Big Ten tournament day rap shows. So follow them, check them out as well.
Shout out to JR. He's had me on the huddle once, and he has invited me back on. Wonder why? I don't know. Weird. Anyway,
didn't you like call him RJ for like the first half?
I did. I called him RJ for like the first 45 minutes of the podcast, and the guy's a trooper. Didn't say a damn word. And then after I get off, and then the group chat, I check our group chat, and it's like, it's JR, you idiot. Well, whatever.
All right, am I allowed to end the show now? You guys
sign us off, Damon. Sign us off.
This isn't bad. This is still
guys.
shorter than we usually get.
We'll see you guys next week. Got a big game against Wisconsin. Let's finish out the week strong. Let's send these boys home undefeated, or send them home. Let's send them on the road to start the NCAA tournament and the Big Ten tournament undefeated at home with a great record. And let's have a good March. So we'll see you guys next week.
We love you all.
Buller up.